I eat this quinoa edamame salad literally 5 days a week. I love it. My wife introduced me to the recipe. It's super healthy and it makes me feel really good when I eat it. In fact, it actually makes me feel like when I was a child. I don't know if you ever have those memories that come back to you every so often. A memory of being a child where you felt really content. The best way I can describe it to you is when I was watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Every day I would have this ritual of sitting down and watching his show. And I know I was among millions of children that did that. And I was thinking back on that recently. I hadn't watched his show since I was 5 or 6 years old. And I saw this interesting quote from a producer who said, if you take everything that makes good television and do the exact opposite, you get Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Low production value, simple set designs, an unlikely star. Yet it worked in this kind of magical sort of way. If you ever watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or you watch your children watching it, you probably know that it's designed for children. Mr. Rogers is literally talking directly to kids about things that are really important to them. It was things that either adults didn't want to talk to their children about or didn't know how to talk to their children about. He would talk about conflict and sadness and anger. He would talk about war and death and violence. I mean, really heavy stuff. But if you ever watched his show, and I remember this as a child, I never felt anxious when he talked about these subjects because the way that he talked about it, underneath kind of everything he did was this philosophy of love and acceptance. Fred Rogers once said, "Love is at the heart of everything. All learning, all parenting, all relationships. Love or lack of it." And he used to end every show the same way. He would say, "You've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are." You know, as an adult, I can't think of the last time I heard that. I don't know if I've ever heard that in my life, that somebody told me that I was good just the way I was. Every day, I wake up and I look in the mirror and I think to myself, not good enough. I'm not smart enough, I'm not patient enough, I'm not working hard enough. Whatever it is, I'm not enough. And you know, I never felt that way as a kid. And I think the reason why I didn't feel that way was because of Mr. Rogers. Like, he made me feel like everything was gonna be okay. And so I got to thinking, wouldn't it be nice if there was someone to remind us as adults that we are enough, that we don't need to be anything more than ourselves? You know, a time each week where we could come together and we could be reminded that we are loved and worthy just as we are. A Mr. Rogers, but for adults. I think we need that now more than ever. I'm gonna leave my lunch behind for a second. Trust me, I will eat it. But would you come downstairs with me, because I wanna show you something that I think will illustrate exactly what it is that I'm trying to achieve. Will you join me downstairs?